So, something that's really special in not just our community, but in the whole Jewish community, is that a lot of times we come together for many happy things, but the support that people give a lot of the time during sad things is also something that's unmeasurable. And I was just in Israel with JJ and his family, and he wanted me to tell all of you that he's really grateful for all the support, not just for all of you being here, but also the Facebook posts, the emails, the letters, everything that you guys have done has been really helpful to him and his entire family. JJ, Shira, Noam, Tamar, and Yair, all of them, and their entire extended family, during the day, dozens and it's getting up to hundreds of people come in and out of their door. And they know that there have been people outside of Israel that have wanted to show their support. And even though this is something small that we could all do here tonight, they're very, very grateful that we were able to do this. I think that they would also really like if not only that we knew who everybody was, because we don't all know each other, but that they could know who is here tonight. So if we could just really quickly go around and say our name, so we could all kind of introduce ourselves. So I'm David.
I'm Harry.
Sheridan. Rena.
Eitan.
Daniela. Ariella. Shosh. Nava.
Lauren.
Hillary.
Hunter.
Yehuda.
Andrew.
Shoshi.
Mitch.
Hannah. Aria. Sorry. Aria.
Dave.
Talia. Michal. Tamar. Leslie. Laura. Juliana.
So, we all met JJ and Shira in many different parts of our lives, and it's clear that, they've all made a really big impact on us, whether it be, small or large, but something that I think you all know about that family is how much of a connection they make with every single individual, and it's not just, oh yeah, I know who you are. They actually get to know you, and they actually really care about who you are. And I was thinking in my mind, one of the Hebrew words for connection is chibur, which, if you look at the root of it, it's the same root as chaver, which is the same one as friend. And that's really something that JJ and Shira, and they've taught their kids that as well, that it's something that really makes sure that everybody comes together, and that's something that they can see here tonight in New York. There was a Minyan in Los Angeles 2 nights ago as well, and then also in Jerusalem every single night at their apartment. So I asked Rabbi Pell just to say a few words also. He's known the family for several years too, and just kind of give Jewish background side also into the whole idea of the Shiva and why we're here tonight.
And I apologize for writing this up in advance. I wasn't sure it would work out or not. So I apologize if it comes up as stilted. Erev Tov, Chodesh Tov. We've come together tonight out of a sense of extreme sadness. Yet by gathering here and being together, I think we can try and take comfort even in the face of such sadness. So I thank everyone for being here, for coming to daven together tonight. And as David said, I also know that Shira and JJ, as far away from us as they feel right now in Israel, have taken great comfort in the idea that groups of people who knew Roee or who know JJ and Shira, even if they never had the chance to meet Roee, would gather to daven, to remember Roee, and to offer each other comfort. The idea that their extended family of Avelim would gather to give each other nichum, comfort, in and of itself, I think is a comforting idea to them, and that's what they've said to me. So again, on their behalf, I thank everyone for being here. My connection to JJ and Shira came initially through JJ's and my work together, bringing Shechter Westchester seniors to Israel on a program that we call Leipa Nefesh, with Chloe Garden Sorts as well. And so I actually had the honor and the joy, almost 2 years ago, of sending the announcement to the parents in our community that Shira had just given birth to a healthy baby boy at Hadassah Hospital in Jerusalem, that Shira and the baby were doing well at the hospital, and parents were naturally kind of concerned, like, who was watching our students, that JJ was going back and forth between the hospital and his 3 older kids at home and our students, and at the time, a joyous new normal was taking hold in JJ and Shira's life. This past Sunday, I had the sad responsibility of sending a message to many of those same parents from our community and others. JJ was the person who ran our trip for 5 years, with just absolutely the worst possible news that Roee was gone, that Shira and JJ had lost a child, their youngest, and that a sad new normal was taking hold in their life. And I know, because JJ and Shira are members of so many communities, and they make such meaningful contributions to the communities that they're members of, that many of us in this room actually had the same sad responsibility of sharing this horrible news with friends and loved ones. The most unimaginable news. That many of us were in this position of trying to share words when no words would ever do. After Roee was born, after his Brit Milah, I asked JJ about his name, Roee Chai. And JJ told me that they had taken the name Roee from the pasuk in Tehillim Kaf Gimel, Psalm 23. JJ wrote it out to me in an email. Hashem Roee lo echsar. If you read it out, it's Psalm 23, pasuk Aleph, Mizmor la David, a psalm of King David. Adonai Roee lo echsar. Adonai is my shepherd. I will lack for nothing. I will have everything I need. And with Roee, together with Noam and Tamar and Yair, I think Shira and JJ really had everything. They lacked for nothing. Today, I have to imagine that they feel the exact inverse, the absence. Instead of Hashem Roee lo echsar, it's Hashem lo Roee echsar. God, no, my Roee is missing. I don't really know how parents go on after a loss like this. I have to admit, I couldn't bring myself to write a post on JJ's Facebook page, but I read every post that was up there, many of them multiple times, many of them written by individuals in this room. And in addition to the outpouring of love and of sympathy and of support, I was struck by a recurring message, this idea that there are no words. Ein milim. It was up there several times, because no words could possibly explain or magically bring comfort in the face of such a tragic loss. But I think the number of people offering their words to Shira and JJ, in person, online, as David said, over the phone, even if they're doing so as an acknowledgement that no words could suffice, that number of comforters was in and of itself a comfort. Our tradition, I think, knows better than to try and explain tragedies like the death of Roee Chai, but it does offer its own words of comfort. The Midrash on the book of Mishlei, Proverbs, tells the story of Rabbi Meir's wife, Roee. And the story immediately came to mind. Studied it before, you can imagine why. Rabbi Meir and Roee were blessed with twin sons who brought them great joy. And one Shabbat afternoon, while Rabbi Meir was out teaching in the Beit Midrash, the boys died suddenly, leaving Roee with the impossible task of determining how to let Rabbi Meir know that their children were gone. When Rabbi Meir returned home after Shabbat, Roee posed to him a question. Several years ago, she said, a man came and gave me 2 valuable objects as safeguard. But now the man returned and has asked me to give the objects back. What should I do? Rabbi Meir's answer was clear. If the objects were borrowed, you must return them. But what if I cherish them very much, and I can't bear to part with them? But they're not yours, Rabbi Meir said. Simply be thankful that you had the opportunity to hold on to them for several years, for the joy they brought you in that time, and return them with gratitude. With that, Roee led her husband into the adjoining room, where he saw that their boys had passed away. Adonai Natan, Adonai Lakach, Yishem Adonai Mivorach. It's the pasuk from Job, from Yov. Adonai gave and Adonai has taken away. Despite our grief, may we still bless Adonai. In that moment, Rabbi Meir understood Roe's sensitivity and her wisdom and her message of comfort. And so in the past few days, I have taken small measures of comfort from other thoughts as well. I've taken comfort in the fact that JJ and Shira had the joy of carrying and holding and loving Roee during his short life. And I also take comfort in knowing that Roee, for having had such a tragically foreshortened life, at least spent his days in the embrace of the Jonah family, a loving embrace that many of us in this room have felt and benefited from at different times in our lives. And I've taken comfort from speaking with JJ and hearing him say, la'at la'at, one day at a time. As much pain as he and Shira feel, and while I know it doesn't compare, but the pain that we all feel, one day at a time, tomorrow will somehow be easier than today. And la'at la'at, they'll move forward. And I've taken a small measure of comfort from the realization that Roe's short life has a message for all of us. The message of cherishing every moment we have with the people we love, and of never taking tomorrow for granted. And of never missing a chance to say, I love you to the people we love. Every day is a miracle. Every day is a gift. Even in the midst of this overwhelming sadness, it remains true that every day of Roe's life was a gift, and we must never take such gifts for granted. If Roee has taught us this, even in his absence, if we take it to heart, then his memory will live on and indeed become a blessing in each of our lives. So we end with the traditional saying of Hamakom Yenachem, may God comfort Shira and JJ and Noam and Tamar and Yair. May they know only simchas going forward, and may we be agents of the nechama that they need and that we are praying for. The same tehillah from which Shira and JJ took Roe's name, Psalm 23, ends on a hopeful note. Ach tov v'chesed yerdefuni kol yemei chayai, v'shavti bebeit Adonai la'orach yamim. May the Jonah family be surrounded by goodness and mercy all the days of their life, the loving, nurturing goodness and mercy of their extended family here in California and, of course, in Jerusalem. And may they dwell in the house of God forever. And may the memory of Roee and Yaakov Yonatan Bashira indeed be a blessing. Yehi